Hey there, you guys. It's Sita Huber here from Mind Body IQ, and I am coming to you today to talk to you guys about holiday survival, about holiday food, and honestly, my clients' number one pain point seems to be how, now that I know what to do and how I want to eat, the thing is that when I'm around my family or when I'm around my friends or when I go out or when I go to the grocery store, these things aren't available, and then there's peer pressure and all these real life things that are obstacles for us. So this is what makes it really hard for people. So this holiday season, what I'm hearing a lot is basically I'm just gonna, basically people don't do health programs in December because it's all about sort of indulging and sort of letting go of our diets and then feeling really bad and guilty in January and then going on detoxes and sort of starting over. But I personally don't like or adhere to that sort of mindset of that yo-yo behavior. So I actually have a different thought, which is like, we don't actually have to fall off the wagon completely, and there actually is a middle ground where this is about lifestyle, you guys. This is about our mindset in our day-to-day life and our strategies in our day-to-day life. And so a lot of, rather than just giving you more health information and how to eat, what I want to talk to you about today is how to have your mind set so that you can actually navigate these problems when you're faced with them. Okay, so my first strategy that I want to share with you guys is don't go out hungry, okay? So this is really, and this is an obvious one, but basically we need to manage our blood sugar and we need to manage our biochemistry. So when we manage our biochemistry, then all of a sudden our body is not so out of whack. Our cravings can be really strong. So, there's such a hard wiring and a primal instinct for us to eat when we get hungry. So if we do have a blood sugar drop, then we're going to eat anything that we can in sight. And so this is a number one thing that we need to sort of manage in the background, so that then when we go out, we're calm inside of our body. We're not having those blood sugar cravings, and then we can actually make choices from what we actually know. And so this is just working with your body, working with your body's chemistry, which is everything that I teach you guys. I don't believe in restriction. I don't believe in going without completely, and I also don't believe in depriving ourselves. So when we make sure that our bodies are nourished on a day-to-day basis, and when we're sort of 100% behind the scenes, then when we have these social situations, be it 1, 2, or 6 times a month, then in those situations we might be able to do things a little bit differently, but it won't be as challenging because our chemistry is better wired, okay? So if you want to find out more about rewiring your chemistry, I've written a whole program on this. So it's called the Mind Body Reset. It's on my website, mindbodyiq.com.au, and I've got a holiday special on it. So check that out if you're interested in learning how to get your chemistry good. But basically, some of the top things you can do are to eat more fats, eat fiber, and then focus on glycemic load, you guys. So that is always in every meal. Watching your carbohydrates, watching your sugar, and making sure you get protein, carbs, and fats in some sort of proportion throughout the day. And when you do that, you'll retrain your biochemistry. So obviously, it's not as simple as that when you go to do it, because then I can tell you this right now, but I know that then you have a lot of questions. So I've written a program that covers 5 one-hour webinars, and it's kind of like going into the biochemistry and the biology, because I find that people want to learn this stuff. So I have so many clients and friends that know so much about nutrition. So it's not just about knowing stuff anymore, you guys. It's about sort of well, now what? What do we do with that information? Okay, so that was my first strategy. Don't go out hungry. Second one is, it's kind of, this is more of a personal thing. So this is about centering in and knowing your personal boundaries. And the reason for this is that self-care can't exist without the placement of intentional personal boundaries. So you're the one who has to drive and navigate your health. You're the one who's going to make decisions about what you eat. You're the one who's going to make decisions when you're out social, and then when you're alone at home as well. And so it's really, really important that you have established an internal set of boundaries of what's okay behavior, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you. And then from there, you've got the power to say no thanks to the host when they offer you pumpkin pie or whatever it is. If you're already full, if that's something that you don't want, it's okay to say no to it. And so many people feel guilty about it. So many people feel guilty for asking for what they need. So when you understand your personal boundaries are what set you up to be able to give yourself self-care, then that empowers you to be able to navigate that situation. Ask for what you need. That's what personal boundaries are. Personal boundaries are being able to say, actually, I don't feel good when I eat bread, so I'm not going to eat that bread just to make someone else happy. I'm going to honor myself. And there's a way to do it without upsetting people. And the more, confident that you are with it, the less reactive people will be. I sort of go more in depth into this food culture and social etiquette side of eating in my webinar, Social Food Survival, which is included with the Christmas Reset special that I've got for this month, you guys. And, so that's because it's actually quite political. It's almost as like political, your food choices in a social setting are almost, like politics or like religion. So it can be quite triggering for other people when they sense that you're sort of not at peace with what you're doing. So being at peace is very important. So know your personal boundaries and be centered. When you're centered in your body, you can tune in and speak for your body, because food's fueling your body. It's not about your feelings, really. It's not about that emotive sort of draw. That's part of it, and that's inbuilt, but we can actually get some awareness of that and then, choose to have pleasure from food, but not necessarily be completely seduced by a package or the memory of something. Memories can be very sort of hard to overcome because especially with holidays, because we associate so much food with happy memories and with closeness and with fun. And so then we don't actually have a point to go to, a reference point, a new reference point for like, what if there was no junk food in the world? What if all of our memories were around healthy indulgence? And, this is something that the whole world is actually facing together right now, as the food industry is exposed for faulty science, for, mismarketing, for, this sort of seductive advertising. And then also we're learning about the actual effects and impacts of sugar and industrial oils and all of this stuff, you guys. So it's no wonder that this is a confusing topic, okay? So the first one I said was don't go out hungry. Second one is know your personal boundaries and get centered. And third is choose your indulgence, but don't overload. So this is actually one really good point that I make in to my clients, and in the Social Food Survival, I talk about this more, is, for example, sugar has the same impact on your liver that alcohol does. So if you're someone who likes to have a few drinks, I don't tell my clients that they can't ever have drinks. I don't tell them that they have to, be this perfect, pure embodiment of health. I mean, that's not realistic, and that's not necessarily everybody's goal. If you want to be an athlete, or if you want to, have a physical goal where you don't want to have anything bad in your life, then that's one thing. But otherwise, you're going to choose what you're going to indulge in, but not go overboard. So, for example, sugar has the same impact on the liver that alcohol does. So I'm someone who can easily give up sugar, but I will have a glass or two of wine when I'm in a social circumstance. And for me, I'm understanding that maybe that wine's not great for my liver, but I'm also doing every other thing that I can to make sure that my liver is looked after. So this is different for everyone because we all have different things that we want to indulge in. For other people, they would rather have the sweet thing. Other people would rather eat sort of, nasty oils once in a while and have chips when they go out, or have something that's deep fried, or have something that just has gluten in it or whatever it is. So, big carbohydrate meal. So everyone's going to have their different favorite indulgence. But I think that it's really important just to understand what your favorite one is, and then also to remove that sort of guilt from it. So, because when there's guilt attached to it, it's like, bad behavior sort of it snowballs into more bad behavior. So if you feel bad about it, it's very hard to then go back to making good decisions because you actually feel bad about yourself. You might feel shame. You might, and it's not even a conscious thing. Like oftentimes if you listen and if you start to tune in and be aware of how people are actually talking about food and about indulgence, there's like this whole, naughty kind of, oh, I was so bad. And then everyone sort of relates on that level. But it's just something that I would tell you to question. Just observe it and question it, because the thing is that having something a little bit bad isn't actually like the end of the world. It doesn't make you a bad person. And also, like you don't have to live in that health bubble where you don't do anything fun at all. And if that's your vision of what healthy is, then it would be a very hard place to stay, and it might be why you're yo-yoing. So if you're going into a good diet and then not able to sustain it, it might have more to do with your mindset around missing out. And so, being aware of all this is really important. But I just think that, if you take on these 3 mindset tactics when you're going through the month of December, when you're going to social gatherings, staying, so firstly, the first one I said was making sure that you're not hungry when you go out. So you can eat, make sure that your blood sugar is balanced, have a little bite to eat before you go out if you're unsure what the food sort of is going to be, because then you might have to pick out of a whole array of food that's offered to you. There might be less things that you actually want to eat, but if you're not going out hungry, then you'll actually be able to navigate that and still participate and be part of it and not have it a big deal. And I do that sometimes. Like I had dinner with friends the other night and I wasn't sure if the sausages that they served were gluten-free, and so I ate, and I didn't eat rice, so I just ate one big plate of the salad that they served me. And, it's just kind of being able to be okay with that and not make a scene or a big deal, or not feel like there's something wrong in that moment. So making sure that you're full before you go out so that you don't feel stuck, and then also just maximizing the things that you can have. And then as well, making sure that your blood sugar is under control, guys, because this is so important. Your blood sugar is driving your cravings. It's not about willpower. It's not a moral issue. You do not have a moral issue with food. I guarantee you it's all driven by your blood sugar. So this is our biology, and then it's also about education and then these strategies. So I've got the Mind Body Reset this month, you guys. So if you want to join the Mind Body Reset, it's on my website, mindbodyiq.com.au, and there's a special reset special that includes a social food survival webinar. So it's a whole reset, which is 5 webinars plus a guidebook plus a consult with me. And then there's also a social food survival webinar. Okay, so that's on my website. And then the second one, so it was don't go out hungry, manage your blood sugar, guys. Also, personal boundaries, so important for self-care. Self-care can't exist. And if you're someone who's yo-yoing, then I would definitely be looking at your personal boundaries and how you value your body, how much you value your health, how much you're trying to please other people with your decisions, and your ability to say no, even to your host, to your mom, and say, Mom, I'm okay not having, the pie or whatever it is, and say, I feel good anyways. No, I'm not depriving myself. No, I'm, not missing out, and just sort of reassuring people that you're okay with this. So, and that's why I want you to have an indulgence. I want you to have something that you're eating that makes you feel like you're indulging. And whether it's that you make something and bring it along, like a sort of, I've got a really nice freezer keto fudge on my website. There's also different cakes that you can make, and anyways, there's lots of stuff on my website. So it might be that you bring something along. It might be that you eat the cheese and drink the wine. That's sort of my strategy for social stuff, is I just go, well, I don't know, I'm not going to eat the rest of the stuff. I just ignore it, and then I grab a glass of wine and eat some cheese. So, but those are the things that I know my body's okay with. It doesn't push it too far. I don't feel like I've fallen off the wagon. I still feel like I'm indulging. So something along that lines, you guys. And then the third one was choose your indulgence, but don't go overboard. So just because you're having the cheese and wine, or just because you've had a piece of pie, doesn't mean that you should now go and eat a whole box of chocolates and that your whole diet and your whole health thing that you've ever been on is ruined. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that, you know, you might actually just need to change that view of good and bad, and allow there to be some gray area, allow there to be a middle ground where you don't have to be 100% good to be healthy. It's kind of, you know, I think that we look up to and we aspire to be these people with like bikini bodies, and we just have this perfect idea and vision of health, and it's like this place that we want to get to. And I can tell you, as someone who's been, you know, doing health stuff for the last 20 years, basically, there's no arrival at perfect health. It's a constant journey, because whatever we were doing before is going to change. So you're just gonna, you know, you just need to be happy being you, and you need to be really happy with the way that you eat. So you need to find a way to eat that you know is working for your body, so that you feel that sense of nourishment and value in what you're doing, that you feel empowered by your food, and also so that you're not feeding disease, because this is a big issue right now for people. Is usually it takes a disease to wake up. But yeah, you just need to find that place where this becomes a habit that you can do day to day. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. Those were my 3 tips. Like I said, I've got my Mind Body Reset on mindbodyiq.com.au, and there is a special on it. And I'd actually like to suggest to you guys, if you're interested in the Mind Body Reset, it's on 2 for 1 right now. So just tag a friend that you want to do the reset with you, and I'll send you both some information. And check it out on the website, and that's it for now. All right, happy holidays, and I'm in Canada, you guys, so it's like 3 in the afternoon, and this is how much daylight there is. And but it's just, it's so nice to be back in winter right now. I'm just totally enjoying it. I can't believe how much I love it right now. So gonna be getting some snow this weekend, and sending lots of love. All right, bye guys, thanks for watching.